Welcome to the show. I am the Star Wars Daddy. I'm bringing you a Halloween edition of my show. First of all, happy Halloween to everybody out there. And we're going to take a look at all the spooky things that are here in my collection. Now, I don't have horror type items or that kind of stuff. My stuff is really just more like ghosts and kind of goblins and some freaky little things that came in the normal vintage toys that we played with growing up. And on today's episode, not only are we going to go over all of those items that are in my collection, that I scoured my collection for, we're also going to do a giveaway. And you're going to have to stick around to find out how you qualify and what the giveaway is actually going to be. It'll happen during this unveil of all these items in my collection. You'll see it there. We'll talk about it in the outro of this video as well to make sure everybody's well informed on how to be a part of something for free. Real quickly, we're going to play a commercial for throwbacks.com. We have 10% off with the code DADDY10 at checkout, and that's going to happen. We just made a new commercial for them for this promo code. This promo code directly helps affect this channel, and why not get an incredible saber from Theory Sabers for 10% off? It's a great Thanksgiving miracle. It's a great Christmas gift. It's a great start to the new year, so please check out this commercial right now. When Darth Maul first lit that double-bladed saber, every Star Wars fan felt it. And with Theory Sabers, you don't just watch it, you live it. Every swing hums like the movies, the weight feels real. You can almost smell the smoke from the sparks flying. These sabers are pure immersion for fans who grew up dreaming of that moment. You feel the darkness. Each ignition is raw power in your hands, built strong, balanced, and absolutely terrifying in the best way. From Yoda's flash of green to Vader's fury of red, every Theory Saber captures the cinematic magic. These aren't toys, they're masterpieces. They're collector grade, combat ready, and made for the fans who never stop believing they can be a Jedi. So yeah, it's completely fine to be an adult with a lightsaber. Head to TheorySabers.com, use code DADDY10 at checkout, and get 10% off your order because, let's be honest, you can never own enough lightsabers from Theory Sabers. All right, thanks for watching that. It's real quick, just a minute long, and it's pretty cool. Went over all the different sabers I have. I've got like 7 of them here. 7 sabers. I started the year off with 0. Now I've got 7. Another way you can help support this growing channel is by memberships. Not just subscribing, but memberships. There'll be a commercial that plays later on in this video halfway through somewhere, which will be a rebel soldier named Carl back on Hoth for some reason. He's riding a tauntaun, gets attacked by a wampa, but he goes over all the membership perks, which actually save his life. We're giving away so much free stuff here on this channel, and I want you to participate. We'd love to have you part of that inner circle community that we're building with memberships. We're up to 50 now, and we just started this year. It's unbelievable. Thank you guys for all your support. Make sure to watch that commercial or go down below in the description of this video. Click more once, click more twice. It'll bring up a whole bunch of information. There's one hyperlink going across the screen at that point. Click that hyperlink. You'll see my Twitch, my Instagram, my TikTok, my email address, my eBay link if you want to participate in my eBay listing videos where I sell 50 to 70 vintage Kenner Star Wars action figures, playsets, vehicles, creatures, everything you need to fill holes in your collection on Sundays from 7-day auctions on eBay. And then we give shout outs to every single person that purchases from me. We have accolades, giveaways, all kinds of crazy stuff happen on those shows. So make sure to check out that eBay link. And then there's the membership link right below that. So click on that and it won't do anything. You know, it's not you signing up. You click on it, just going to give you a whole bunch of information. Then once you review the information, you could then sign up at that point. Please, if you love these kind of videos, you love the Star Wars Daddy, you want Star Wars content to show up in your feed, please do what you can to do to help me. Hit like, subscribe, bell notification to be notified of all the upcoming content I'm going to talk about in the outro of this video. If you'd like to see an unboxing from hell, it's right here. It happened right here. I had to do a full return, and then the seller tried to be as difficult as possible, but we're going to go over that. And I don't realize this is happening until I'm about halfway through filming the video. And then you're going to see the part where the transition takes place, and we have a nightmare on our hands. What we thought was going to be a very expensive, awesome item, as you can see in this thumbnail, ends up being a, well, there's some issues with it. And we have to do a full return, as that was the majority of the value of this entire lot was in one figure. But it was the seller's fault completely, and they didn't take responsibility. They thought that 6 words in the item description was good enough. They have up to 24 photos they can use. They only used like 8, and they said all the items were original. So there you go, guys. It's right there. Make sure to check it out. Not everything in collecting happens perfect. It doesn't happen great, and I'm going to show you both sides of it right there. All right, guys, that's it. Short and sweet. Happy Halloween. I hope you are dressed up as some sort of Star Wars character. I don't think I have any Star Wars character costumes here in the house. Oh, I got a Darth Maul. I can dress up like Darth Maul. I can dress up like Darth Vader, sort of. Like part of Darth Vader. I guess I got some helmets around here. I could be a Hoth snow trooper. I guess I could be that. And that might be it. But I think I'm going to be a skeleton. My wife and I have matching skeleton jumpers that make it look like we're both skeletons. We usually wear those as we're handing out candy to the neighborhood kids. And we give out full-size candy bars here at our house. So if you're in the neighborhood, come by and check it out, and we'll give you a full-size candy bar. Well, while supplies last. All right, guys, that's it. Let's get into this Halloween edition of all the spooky things I have in my collection. I hope you enjoy. All right, here we go. First one up, my favorite movie during the Halloween season is The Burbs. I watch this a couple times a year probably because I think it's the funniest movie, and obviously it's spooky. And if you haven't seen it, you've got to see this movie. It is probably Tom Hanks' best performance. Even better than Castaway. He is absolutely hilarious in this movie. It's got Carrie Fisher from Star Wars, so she's great being added to that, and it's just a great, fun comedy with also some suspense and some freakiness, and so you got to check out this movie. Picked this up from Adam Gothard over at rogue5toys.com. This was sold to me by Chris, and it is a rubber ducky, but alien version, and it's 3D printed, and it actually is soft, and it floats. But it's got the alien head there. I think that's pretty cool. And we had, I think, 10 of these Chris sent out to me after I purchased a bunch. I gave these away to the monthly member-only drawings that take place. So my members picked up a whole bunch of these, and they love these being added to their giveaways that happened for a couple months. So great little item, and obviously Alien, that's got to be Halloween, right? Quickly, we got some SpongeBob characters. These have been sitting here. I was like, what am I ever going to use these for? And so we're just going to do them now. We've got SpongeBob as a ninja for his Halloween costume. We've got the caveman SpongeBob there. We've got the Pharaoh SpongeBob. He's great. We've got the Sultan. He's the Sultan of Arabia. I believe that's what this is, SpongeBob. And then we've got the Viking SpongeBob there. So a bunch of great Halloween costumes SpongeBob was in with this series of toys. And then from 1987, Mattel came out with Boglins. And we've got a creepy little Boglin here named Vlob right there, Vlob. And he's still inside of his container here. I think it's been removed at some point, but we got him back sealed up in my display here. But that's definitely a Halloween type toy. I don't think my mom would have let me have these when I grew up. That's why I've got one now, because I remember how cool these were, the commercials for them, and seeing them at Toys R Us. But yeah, my mom would never let me have something like this when I was growing up. Another one of my favorite movies to watch at least once a year is Mars Attacks. It's got so many cameos in it. It has so much comedy and great moments. But we've got a couple of the action figures here, and I think some other things from Mars Attacks. Let's go through those real quick. We've got the Martian Spy Girl with the Freeze Ray Blaster. I don't think this works. Yeah. Batteries have died a long time ago. There's a little feature right there to click it, and you can hear her make some noises. And this says, yeah, this is the Try Me. Push once, push again. Well, yeah, it's over. So obviously she has the interchangeable head and all the different guns, and then this big eyeball ring, I guess. I guess you would wear the ring. It looks like it would be for a human. But there was all kinds of toys that came with this line, and I do not have all of them. I can tell you that right now. I think I'm missing 2 of the action figures, but I have, you'll see here soon, I've got the everything else. So we're just missing 2 action figures from this entire set, and I probably shouldn't have pulled these guys out. It then reminded me that I'm missing some things, and so, you know, with me trying to be a completionist of some sort, I probably will end up trying to find 2 more of the missing action figures. But there's that Martian Ambassador right here with, it says Martian Ambassador with Firing Chaos Ray Blaster. Oh my goodness. I think these actually shoot out. So they look like they go in there. They got a spring-loaded piece and they shoot out. And he's got a button too, but his batteries died a long time ago, unfortunately. And there's the back, same back there. This one has a little bit of wear and tear here on this one. Look at that little fold there. That's too bad. But picked this up. Somebody picked this up at Toys R Us for $9.99. I think I paid double that for this figure a while back, but pretty cool. All right, picked up the Mars Attacks Martian Brain Disintegrator. Turn knob to control sound. Oh, it's broken off. I'm turning the knob. It doesn't turn. Turn the knob. Turn the knob. This thing's dead too. Oh, it looks like it's got a little antenna up there. We got an on switch. So maybe there's some batteries I switch out. It looks like it has been pulled. It obviously pulled out of the out of its thing here. I think it was sealed, but this broke off here. Oh, it went up here. I see it. That did snap off. I don't believe it's been pulled out, but obviously you can't prove that now. It looks like it would come out. But oh, this is the knob. Turn the knob right here. Here's the knob. But anyways, this is a pretty cool item. I picked it up very cheap on eBay, and just thought it would go with the collection since it was one of the items that was on the back of those action figures. So I needed to pick that up, and who knows what the price was. Somebody crossed it out here from Toys R Us. My guess is it was cheap as can be. All right, last vehicle kind of piece that's for this toy line is the actual flying saucer. And this flying saucer is like this big, right inside. So this little character here, he's like this big. And he just slides in there. And then it's got all kinds of sounds as well. It says there's a try me button, but I believe I probably pulled it all out and put it in incorrectly because we got cardboard here. So I must have slid it in incorrectly. And there's another spot here where you might have been able to have pushed on something, but we know the batteries wouldn't have worked. But it looks like you can replace the batteries. So I might be able to put some batteries in there and make this thing work again. But it has some firing lasers that come out of it. So some missiles, that's pretty cool. And then it looks like it has some lit up canopy in here. It lights up with the batteries. So it's a pretty cool item, honestly. And who knows? Oh, here we go. It's Toys R Us. Sold for $14.99, this guy back in the day. But pretty cool item. Okay, moving over to Ghostbusters, we got the monster line. And I've got, I think, every single one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there are 6. I think there's 6, right? Collect all 6 monsters right here. We can see that. I've got all 6 of them here. So let's just go over these. And I was going to send these off to be graded at one point, but they honestly, we got some dings here on this corner. There's some veining that's happening right here. Otherwise the blister's pretty nice. I honestly felt like these were going to get below 80s, like 70 to 75 plus maybe. And so I decided not to send them off to be graded. So they've been sitting here loose. And that's not good in my collection because I can't stack up very well, and they don't display well when they're not in an acrylic. So we're going to have to figure out something else to do here. Maybe sell them. I don't know, but look at all these different options of all these crazy ghosts and ghouls and monsters. Tons of them on here. But this one here was Quasimodo Monster, and I believe he bends over and something comes out of his back. What does he do? No, I think he just squeezes his legs, and he moves his arms. And the chain moves. I think that's all he does, right? Oh, yeah. Arms spread out to break his chains. Mouth opens wide. Okay, so I was completely wrong. I was going off memory, and it obviously tells me right here. So from now on, I'm going to read exactly what these guys do instead of guessing. But there he is. All right, we've got the Dracula, and you would think that this looks pretty nice. The card back's really nice, but unfortunately, we got a staple keeping the blister on up there, and there's a staple down here, and there's a staple down here, and not a staple up here. So we could actually pull him out if we probably wanted to, but we're not going to. And what does the Dracula monster do? His arms open, mouth opens, exposing fangs. Wow, take a look at that. That's pretty freaky. And we got the same card back happening there. All right, the next one up is a red tag special for only $1.98. It's the Wolfman Monster, and his head rears back, jaw closes, arms open, arms spread open. So pretty freaky and scary there. And I can't believe $1.98. You wish you could go back in time, huh? And pick up a bunch of these clearance things. Even those Power of the Force last 17 figures sat on shelves and were clearanced because people didn't want them. And now everybody's like, oh my gosh, we've got to have these. All right, the next monster up is the Zombie Monster. Hair raises up, arms reach out, eyes spin around. Ooh, God, that is very freaky. But pretty cool item. I like the colors there. It's kind of like an old school-ish cartoon kind of looking guy. And he sold for $5.97 at Lionel. Unbelievable. So pretty nice. All right, here's a classic right here. It's the Frankenstein Monster. And his arms raise up, mouth opens wide. There he is. There's the back. Pretty much the same on each one of these. But yeah, we got a little bit of issue. There's like a little issue on every single one of these. Obviously, the stapled one is a big issue, but there's just some wear and tear that's just a little bit too much on these ones for me to have sent them off to be graded. So we'll just, again, I'm not sure what we're going to do with these. And last of the 6 monsters, we've got the mummy monster. And this one's actually pretty cool because his head pops off, his arm pops off. And so his head moves, mask and arm fall off, and exposes quite the character underneath. But these ones are pretty cool. I had a bunch of these, I think, when I was growing up, when I had my Ghostbusters collection. I had a whole bunch of different ghosts and stuff. So I think this one probably got picked up at a garage sale of some sort back in the day. And this one sold for $5.90 at Lionel as well. So some of these were pretty expensive back in the day. Hey, it's me, Carl, a rebel soldier. And I'm back on Hoth again, searching for all those amazing perks that come with the Star Wars Daddy membership program here on YouTube, which I just signed up for. At least it's safe here now that the Empire has been destroyed. Wait, what's that? Ah! Oh no, the Wampa got me? The only way for me to get out of this situation is by using the Force. The Force that comes from the Star Wars Daddy membership perks, like member-only monthly giveaways. Free action figures and Star Wars Daddy stickers on your next eBay purchase. Free eBay shipping on all action figures and accessories in the middle and top tiers of memberships. And the Star Wars Daddy t-shirt I'm wearing after certain tenure. There are even more perks, but I don't have time to list them all off with this Wampa situation. I've got to use all these membership perks. I'm feeling the Force. I'm feeling the Force. Memberships! All right, we got some loose figures here. These came in some toy lot that I purchased, and they've been sitting in my collection for quite a while. I think this guy's broken. Yeah, it appears to be broken, this one. It's a Beetlejuice, obviously, and I think I just broke him completely. There's his little head when his head pops off, but I think, see, now I can't get it to go on. Oh, you pull it all the way out? I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. I think there's supposed to, yeah, there's supposed to be a little tab here that slides out of there so you can put his head up and down, but we can't do that anymore. And now I can't even get his head. Oh, yeah, there we go. He's got his head back in. At least it'll be displayable here. So there's one of those Beetlejuices. I don't know which name that one is. And then we've got this one, and I don't know. Oh, here we go. Wow. Oh, look at the spikes come out of the top of his head. That's kind of freaky. But that's about all I think he does. Is that it? He just moves his arms up and down, and then he has those little worms, tentacles that come out of the top of his head. And then the last one I have loose is here. His head spins around. Oh, we got a thing right here. You just spin his head around. So he goes crazy with his head spinning around. Quite the character there. So Beetlejuice, obviously, that's a Halloween type action figure. And that leads us into, it's hard to see with all the reflections, Beetlejuice, graded 9.6 by CGC. It's a DVD from 2008, and it's the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition with Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, obviously. But we have a graded DVD here. How in the world do you have this in your collection? Well, I've got a bunch of DVDs and VHS that are actually graded in my collection. They look pretty nice, displayed like this. And I only have kind of like the things that I've enjoyed as far as like Star Wars and Indiana Jones I have graded, and Back to the Future, stuff like that. I think Lord of the Rings as well. And so when I saw this, I had to purchase it. So that's what we did, and it's in the collection. It's perfect for a video like this. But this one is the one that's actually great. We've got an exploding Beetlejuice with the Dreadful Dragon, and it is graded AFA, uncirculated 85. This came out of a shipper box. It's 1989 Kenner Beetlejuice Series 2 Exploding Beetlejuice. The card got an 85, blister got an 85, figure got an 85 for an 85 overall. Body flies apart to reveal hilarious bug. Oh my. Sounds frightening. And I'll bring the camera back. And there is kind of what he does there at the top of the screen. The bug comes, well, I guess the bug is just inside of him. It's not really hilarious. I don't see the hilariousness, but I guess it's hilarious. But look at all the different characters. There were so many great characters in this Beetlejuice line. And I had a few of these, I think, growing up, but not too many of them. Because I think this is another toy line my mom probably did not approve of in the house because of how gross he is. But I absolutely love Beetlejuice and glad to have this in the collection. I think I picked this up from Chris over at Rogue 5 Toys. I'm pretty sure I did, but this is a while back I picked this up. All right, now on to Star Wars and leading into the giveaway item. What is the giveaway item? We don't know. We're going to find out. But I picked this up a while back. I saw this on eBay maybe 6-7 years ago. Someone was making these Death Troopers, and they're like zombies. And they put them in these custom card backs. They are pretty cool. I think I've shown these once in my video at some point. I just don't remember when I showed this. Maybe it was a Halloween episode before. But it's an adult collectible, not a toy, all right? Let's not get that wrong. And then look at the back. Look how cool these look. I guess it's a Killer Bee product. So maybe that is the company that's making these things. But the card back is great. And remember, there's a choking hazard. It may contain small parts, people. Let's not put these in your mouth and try choking on them. But pretty cool item. And then he also sent in another one of these. It's sitting over my collection over here, where it's unpainted. So it's like 3D printed or whatnot, and it's unpainted. And I have that sitting in my collection over here as well. So he threw that in as a bonus when I purchased this, which was kind of cool. So I guess I could always paint that one in the future, just whatever I wanted. But there it is, pretty Halloween, I think, with this series. And if you're looking right here, you're going to see something's wrong. We got a series of 6 mutants, Star Wars mutants, because these guys are out of their minds. And it looks like Carl, the Rebel soldier, is the one that's been used the most here. We got 3 Rebel soldiers. The first one is the Bib Fortuna Carl. So I guess it's Carl Fortuna is what we call this guy. There he is. I don't know how they got the Bib Fortuna head on him. It actually does move like a normal figure. All the joints work. Like nothing appears to be glued. So I don't know how this happened. I don't even remember where I picked these up. But I think it was on eBay of some sort. Now these are all Kenner figure parts. Somebody put these together. Don't know how they did it, but they did it. So we're going to go over these. Then we're going to go into something a little more intense and a little more expensive than these ones. We've got the AT-AT Boss Commander here next. He looks pretty nice. I mean, it's a nice looking AT-AT Commander if he had just had his head. Maybe his nose was rubbed too much, and so somebody put a Bosk head on him. But I kind of like this Bosk. He's very professional looking and seems like he could help run the galaxy. Back to Carl, we got Squidhead Carl. And again, it's another Rebel soldier with a squid head. And his head moves back and forth like normal, and his arms move. So he's got the arms of a squid head too. I didn't even look at that. I guess I just realized that right now. So he's pretty nice. We've got the Weequay / Nikto. So it's a combination of those skiff guards for Jabba, and we put obviously it's the Weequay legs and a Weequay body, and then it goes right into the Nikto arms and Nikto head. But again, all of those joints move perfectly. And then we've got another Bosk. It's the Carl Bosk, and he's half Bosk, half Carl. And he's got the arms of Bosk, the head of Bosk, and then we've got obviously the Carl legs and the Carl body of the Rebel soldier. But he's looking pretty cool. And then finally, we've got the Carl Squidhead. So we've got Carl with his arms and his head, but he's on the squid head body. I'm thinking that right here is what happened. We mixed and matched these two figures right here. They got morphed into 2 different figures. So that's what happens. I think we've seen lots of movies and cartoons where somebody got close to a tractor beam to be tractored into some other realm, and they both got touched by it, and then they both took on each other's body parts, and they got mixed up. I think that's what's happened here in such a frightening scene. but Carl and Squidhead got merged and then separated and then merged. If that makes sense. I don't think that made any sense to me. And then that leads us to some real items that you're seeing in front of me. These are called Frankies. They are Frankensteins. So Frankie is short, but that's what they're called. They're called flea market Frankies. And these showed up in Mexico soon after the Lili Ledy factory went under. All these overstock parts that were taken from the factory were pieced together by workers and people that were trying to make some money, and they would then sell them in flea markets once they pieced them together. So here we have the Squidhead slash reuse. So we've got Squidhead's body of the Lili Ledy. We can see the no COO here on the back of the leg and the correct date stamp for the COO to be a Lili Ledy figure. And then we've got the reuse overstock head. And unfortunately, there's some little pink marks and red marks. Who knows what happened to him in Mexico? But there he is. So it's all Lili Ledy overstock parts that are pieced together and were sold in a flea market. I mean, how crazy to have these items. And guess what? CAS actually grades these. They call them hybrids. So if you're looking for these on CAS, if you have some of these, they're called hybrids. You'll never find them unless you search for hybrid. And then here's the last one. We've got a Luke Skywalker Bespin with the Klaatu head. And again, it is your Lili Ledy with the no COO raised bar right there. And it's a correct paint job and everything else. And then we got Klaatu's overstock head here on top. It's a pretty cool item. And I got my little Lili Ledy stands to go with these guys. I was going to send these off to be graded, but I mean, this Luke is in pretty rough shape. He's got loose joints. He's got yellowing on the back. I mean, this is probably a 50 grade. Now, maybe this reuse gets maybe a 60. We got those marks, you know. But, you know, these are things I could definitely send off because they are a piece of history and they're pretty cool to have in the collection. And now for the giveaway. I purchased 2 of these items on eBay. They are the Black Series Clone Trooper Halloween Edition. You can't get much better than this. And I'm going to open one of them up right here, right now, so you can see what this thing looks like. The other one will stay sealed and will be given to whoever leaves me a comment of more than 5 words. You got to leave me a comment, 5 or more words, and then whoever leaves those comments in a couple of weeks, I will do a drawing, a random drawing of whoever left a comment. I will then respond to your comment to let you know that you've won. And at that point, you will then email me at thestarwarsdaddy@gmail.com to show me a screenshot that you are a subscriber. I will then get your information and I will send this out to you. Needs to be in the United States. I'm shipping to the United States only for this item, obviously. I'm not going to spend more in shipping costs than what this thing is actually worth. So you got to be in the United States, unfortunately. So sorry for all of our international subscribers, but this is for someone here in the States that I can cheaply mail this to. But we're going to have a giveaway. So I think this box, I'm looking at it, this box has a bunch of dings on it. So I'm thinking this is the one I'm going to open up to keep in my own collection. And this box is very nice, very pristine. Just has this, you know, this barcode on the back. This one doesn't. But I'm telling you, this box is much nicer. This one would probably grade an 80. This one would probably get a 75. So I'm going to open this right now on camera. And let's see what we have here. All right, opening it up. Okay, we're a bunch of parts here. This thing is all sealed up. Oh, it's kind of cool here. Is it in its own sheath? Oh, kind of cool. It's got some, it's just, you know, tissue paper, but it's tissue paper of a Halloween tissue paper theme. So that's kind of cool. They went all out with this one, huh? All right, let's just open this up, try to be nice with it. Okay, we'll pull him out. All right, so here he is. And yeah, it's a tissue paper. It's kind of cool. And check out this Black Series Clone Trooper right here. I believe it glows in the dark. I don't know. We're going to test it out. Let me see here. Now, hold on. Well, it doesn't tell me. So we'll test it out. I'll try to film that and show you. Let's put him right here. And then we got this package here. It's got kind of the accessories. Oh, yeah. They're all in here. All right. So we've got a bunch. What do you think those things are? Like little, Okay, so we got a treasure chest here with all kinds of booty in it. And then I think these are little like credits. These are probably Imperial credits, and they're going to go inside of this box. And then he's got his little porg. His porg that is from hell. It's a zombie porg, and that's what he comes with. So we've got the booty, we got the zombie porg, and then we've got the Black Series Halloween Edition Clone Trooper. Pretty cool, honestly. Let's see if we can get the porg to stand up. There they are. Take a look at him. Let's zoom in on him. Wow. Pretty nice. And someone is going to be winning this item again. Leave me a comment down below. It's got to be 5 or more words if you can manage that. 5 or more words, and hopefully they're positive words. I don't know if the negative comments will win. Let's just have them be positive comments, 5 words or more in the comments, and then I will pick somebody in a couple weeks. So that is what we are going to do. Hope everybody thinks this is a cool idea and is excited to win this Black Series Clone Trooper Halloween Edition. It's pretty awesome. And that is it for my spooky items in my collection. All right, we did it. We got through all those spooky, scary items, and we got through the giveaway. Now, listen, I'll repeat it again. Down below, you've got to leave me a comment. It's got to be positive. I have a selective memory. If I see negative stuff, I'm probably going to forget to put you into the competition. All right, listen, be nice, okay? Let's be nice, leave a nice comment, and you'll be put into the drawing. And in a couple weeks, once we give some people time to watch the video and to comment, we will then do a drawing. It'll be random on all the people that are there. We'll put them in a list, boom. The circle spins, picks a name. The PC does it, I don't do it. And we will then reach out to you by responding to your comment, letting you know you've won. Now, I will respond to all comments. The more comments in the videos helps the analytics. So don't think because I've immediately responded to your comment, it's responding to exactly what you said, that means you win. I will literally say, hey, you've won. You won the competition. Email me so I can get your information. That's when you know you've won. All right, so just realize I'm going to respond to all comments to get more comments in the video. But it's a pretty cool item, and it's sealed. It's a nice box. I think you'd be very happy with a free item here from the Star Wars Daddy, because it never really ends here with the Star Wars Daddy. We're giving away so much stuff. You saw the membership video. Oh my gosh, it never ends. I'm just giving away free stuff all the time, and I love doing it, and that is what being a member is all about. If you could, if you like this video, if you like the giveaways, if you like everything else that's happening here, please hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification to be notified of all of this upcoming content. This Sunday is going to be my October mail haul. We're going to take a look at some more stuff in my collection, but these are the things I've just added this month. There's a big pile sitting over here, and it's not just a normal mail haul. There's going to be an unboxing video, and there's going to be 2 situations with items that I have in this video where I purchased things in a different manner than I normally do. Slightly different, because I thought it would be a great situation, and both of them ended up being kind of poor situations. So I want to talk about those and my experiences so you guys can learn at home as collectors what to avoid, what to look forward to, what to be aware of. The good news is these items are here, they're safe, and so they'll be a part of the video. I wouldn't show you something got smashed up. That'd be a different type of a video. But everything happened well, so we're going to have the unboxing, 2 situations with these, and then tons of items. So that's going to come up on Sunday. Next week, we're going to have a card rip. I've got the Hobby Box 2025 Star Wars Hobby Box, the guaranteed signature inside of it. I'm attempting it again. Now my first time with that box actually was really well. It was a good unboxing. We're hoping for another one, and I also got one of those blaster packs to go along with it. So we got, like, I don't know, an extra 8 packs from Best Buy. They had an extra box, so I put that. It was going to be a little bit longer of a card rip video, so we have more packs to open. What didn't go well was that Sapphire box. That was a disaster. We're not going to buy that one again, but we went back to the other one. We got some other card rip boxes. We got some other card rips that'll be happening here in the future too. I got some other stuff coming, and so that'll trickle its way in. That's why it's important that you hit the bell notification, because this stuff is randomly going to be put out. Wednesday is episode 99 of our weekly Star Wars eBay listing videos, where again, I recap all the items I've sold on eBay in 7-day auctions, starting on Sunday, ending on Sunday, where I give shout outs to every single person that purchased from me. We have price points, so you know what these things are selling for. We have accolades, giveaways, everything's happening on that episode that happens on Wednesday. Then at the end of the week, Thursday or Friday, there'll be an unboxing video, and that's going to happen. I just did the video So it's all filmed, ready to go, and we'll push that thing out. We've got some pretty cool items in there, lots of accessories. This one is not a disaster. This one is exactly what I thought I was purchasing, and it happened. There's an honest seller that did the right thing, explained everything in the description, put a great title, had tons of pictures, and lots of 100% feedback. Perfect feedback. So those are the things you want to look for when you make purchases. And then next Sunday, so 2 Sundays out, I was going to do a PSA tutorial. I think it might still happen. The problem is that I've got all these cards sitting here, and I was going to include the cards in the PSA tutorial so I could show you all the items I'm going to send off to grading. The problem is I've got some card rips that are going to happen in the next week or two, and so that might not happen. So I think right now, 2 Sundays is TBA. I hope you guys enjoyed all those creepy, spooky items in my collection. I know they weren't that scary, but they were kind of fun and cool, and I thought this would be a great video. We had the SpongeBobs, we had the Mars Attacks, we had the Beetlejuice, we had the Boglin. What else did we have? We had some custom pieces. We had those Frankensteins from the flea market, from the Lili, which you might never have ever heard of or seen, but there's 2 of them that were here. Those were probably the highlight of the entire lot. It was pretty cool. And then some graded items and all kinds of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. And guys, until the next time, oh my gosh, who do we got? Somebody that's not scary, somebody we love. It's Boba Fett, and I guess Darth Vader right there behind him. I love these big, baggy shirts for weightlifting. These are an awesome line. I have a whole bunch of these. I love them. Oh my gosh. Who is your daddy? That is what is up. That is what is. You.